Welcome back, sleepers of Arrakis, and another week of deep desert change after that Coriolis storm has blown through and switched up everything in our favors, hopefully. I hope everybody is out there enjoying the Lost Harvest DLC with that Chapter 2 free content that has been added into the game. I know it's been giving me quite a few hours of enjoyment on the weekend. As well, this week I want to say thank you to all of those people out there who are showing their support for this channel. I love you guys so much. You are helping me out and you are making my dream come true. We have so many people who have been liking, subscribing, and spreading the message out there to their communities and helping this channel grow. Remember, you are part of the journey, so the more you spread the message, the more you subscribe, the more people we can get to join in on this community, and we can make this a much more creative and helpful place for people starting out on Dune Awakening. Just as well, I would like to add in there that every Saturday starting at 12 o'clock Korean time, I'm not sure what that is around the world, but we do have a live community stream where I jump on and play different games and talk to the community about gaming and what their feelings are for the future of not only Dune Awakening, but every other MMO survival that is out there. And now, on to the show. To begin with, if you are looking for a B or C tier weapon that you can run around shooting NPCs with, F7 Testing Center is going to be the hotspot for you this week, as we do have Bashar's Command. We do have Solsan's Vengeance and the Vaporizer. Of course, the only one that I'd really say is worth grabbing out there is the Solusan's Vengeance, which is just a larger clip size than the original weapon that is out there. It's a 45 to 20 ratio that you get out of those clips. Keeping this in mind, the Bashar's is a 75% drop rate. As for the Solsan and the Vaporizer is only a 55% chance. So if you're looking for a new weapon or something to add to your arsenal, make sure to drop out there to the F7 testing site so that you can get your hands on those hot weapons. Next, in the D6 testing site, we have the pin cushion boots. That's right, if you have been missing all these pin cushion drops that are out there lately, this is the one piece of S tier itemization that you should be looking for, because the pin cushion boots are great light armor for you to be running around and scouting and going stabby. Also, in the G7 shipyard, you can find the pin cushion helmet. This is the only piece that I always have trouble getting my hands on, and this week it is in G7 at that shipwreck. Of course, you know how the shipwrecks are working. It's still like an hour to an hour and 30 minutes of downtime before these chests respawn. So make sure that you're out there checking constantly and making sure you're doing this when people are offline that are usually just hoarding and logging in to get these things. Finally, we have the D1 testing site this week, which will be offering us up the pin cushion pants. That's right, there's going to be 3 pieces of pin cushion armor that you can pick up out there in the deep desert this week, which will be a great chance for you to suit up and be able to take on the wilds of Arrakis with the best gear you can find in the game. One final note that I'd like to throw out there is you can also grab the Walker Sandcrawler Engine MK6 out in the deep desert this week. This is a great engine for those of you who like sucking up that sand and then going home and building a lot of stuff. This engine will significantly increase the speed that your sandcrawler is moving and absorbing the sand rates. You can find these things out at the C3 large shipwreck. This is an 85% chance drop, so if you're really just gunning for it, that is going to be your best option. There's also a small falling shipwreck that you can find out there with a 47% chance of grabbing this Walker Sandcrawler engine at. Everything else is just the F4, F7, D6, and D1 Imperial testing stations, which is offering up a 26 to 5% chance of finding that engine. So get out there and get your Sandcrawler engine a revving.
You can do it!
And next up, we have the Deep Desert map and how that Coriolis storm has changed our paths. First of all, we're going to take a look at the Lost Caves, as we have found 2 Lost Caves so far, one in G5, the other one in I1. Make sure that you're getting in there and looting those constellation chests. You can always get swords or other types of weapons or pieces of gear and machinery parts, so make sure that you're getting in there and trying them out. They do get overlooked quite often by people, so it's best best that you get in there first and take your share of that pie. On top of that, we have a very big chunk of sand plumes this week. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're back onto that 6th large spice plume rotation. It seems to be going 6-5, 6-5, 6-5 each week. It looks like they don't have too much of an imagination when it comes to numbers, but we are happy to see this. Remember, not all large spice plumes are sprouting all the time, but this one this week is definitely very vastly spread out. So there's not really much of a theory to jump in there and see. I will say that the probable best area for you to be setting up bases this week are going to be starting here around E5 and stretching to E1, because you do have the Lost Caves, you do have quite a bit of stuff up here, but at the same time they have found a way to spread the map so much that the entire E realm is going to be something that you have to be looking at, because not only do you have the Lost Caves that you have to be considering, but you also have to have the shipwrecks, and you need to have those beautiful testing centers laid out as well. There isn't really a safe spot for anybody to guarantee that they can get out there without any kind of trouble. I would say that maybe possibly one of the safer areas is going to be here in the G1 area, but basically speaking, it is so spread out and dangerous this week that if you have an active server, I would definitely recommend you taking extreme precaution and going out there into the deep desert with friends, because it is going to be a hot one. With this in mind, there's also stravinium and titanium, as you can see, spread everywhere on the map, so nobody has to really worry about missing out on that. And as always, if you are new to the game, make sure that you are jumping here in the A and look here, B rows, so that you can jump into and pull out as much of this loot that you can. Also, keep those A rows in mind, because the testing centers are not PvP, and you get a lot of intel points out of that. I know a lot of us have already secured maximum amount of intel points, but there's always new people joining the game, and that's my best advice. Never miss out on that. That is a guaranteed 180 intel points every single week. And now on to my favorite segment of the show, the shout outs and the questions. Starting off, we have Little Italy. Could someone with more experience tell me, is it worth building small bases on the shield wall for mining with a buggy? Or am I better off just doing assault thopter trips from the deep desert, Mastrav, Titan Islands? I'm not concerned with PvP because my server is dead. Sorry to hear that your server is dead. If you're going to be mining all of your stuff out in the deep desert, that would probably be a great idea, considering that now they have all kinds of resources spread out everywhere, but you are going to find the lower level resources there early and click up in the A, B, C, and D areas. However, I would still just recommend mining all that stuff in the Haga Basin. Thank you, Little Lily, for asking that question. I hope you got the answer you were looking for. Next up, we have Mein Freiheit 1234. He says he spawned in Arrakis and got all of his class armor dropped, but inventory was full. Half of my inventory because other players stole it. Not hyped anymore. This is so stupid. I agree, Mein Freiheit. How could somebody pick up and steal your stuff? I also had a full inventory of crap whenever I logged in. Luckily, I was close to a box though and was able to drop it all in there. So I hope that you still are not too sad. It looks like you can still craft that stuff. So please, I hope that whoever stole my boy's stuff gives it back. Next up, we have Omar Krieg, and he says a couple of pincushion pieces will be on the Landsrad reward as well, though I forget which ones off the top of my head. It doesn't matter, Omar. Just by you offering up this intelligence to the community, you have made it aware to everybody to know now that they can grab all of the gear and weapons at different vendors each week during the Landsrad. Next up, we have my T1 who says, Scorpius represent. That's right, you have been represented, my T1, and thank you very much for leaving that comment because those PvP labs were insane before that patch. Next up, we have Steven Adams 8996 who says, only pincushion drops on my server since launch. Are there other sets of armor in the game? I had to stumble there. Well, Steven, I have to say, we all feel the same thing because we all get the same drops each week as everyone else. And guess what? it's always pincushion as the best. Of course, there are other armor sets out there. We just don't really care to be grabbing them. And if it is that you are only grinding out the stuff out in the deep desert in the PvP areas, you're probably only encountering those pincushion pieces. And in all fairness, that's the only real set of armor that you should be wearing anyways, because everything else is garbage. And finally, to my favorite fan out there, SpongeBob423, he says, Nerdbird made this video to train the faithful who crosses the deep sands in peace of Shai Hulud, the desert mouse. Thank you once again, SpongeBob, because you are the single person who jumps into these videos each week and leaves great messages related to the Dune world. I hope to hear more of these out there. Please, everybody, remember to leave comments down below, ask any questions, and drop any intel that you did not see in this video so that we can spread the message out to the community and keep people informed of exactly what they can be getting in the deep desert at all times. As always, I really appreciate everybody, and I love the fact that everyone is helping this channel grow. Not only that, but also helping the community to move along and become more aware of different things that they can find out in the desert. As always, thank you guys for coming and have a great day.